Silence is not weakness. It is control. The person who reacts first loses. In a world designed to provoke you, anger you, humiliate you, and pull you into pointless battles, not reacting is a form of power most people will never understand. This video will change how you see insults, disrespect, manipulation, and emotional traps forever. Because what I'm about to tell you goes against everything you've been taught about standing up for yourself. Most people don't want truth. They want control. When someone insults you, disrespects you, or tries to provoke you, they are not trying to win an argument. They are trying to enter your mind. Your anger feeds them. Your explanations empower them. Your emotional response tells them, "I am affected." And the moment they know they affect you, they own a piece of you. That is why immature minds provoke. Because they cannot dominate through intelligence, they try to dominate through emotion. Think about the last time someone said something that cut deep. Maybe it was a coworker who undermined you in a meeting. Maybe it was a family member who knew exactly which buttons to push. Maybe it was a stranger on the internet who attacked something you care about. What happened next? Did you defend yourself? Did you explain? Did you argue back? And what did that person do? They kept going. They doubled down. They got what they wanted. Because here's what most people don't understand: when someone provokes you, they're not looking for resolution. They're looking for a reaction. They're fishing for weakness. And your response, no matter how justified, is the bait they need. Every word you speak in your defense gives them more ammunition. Every explanation proves you care what they think. Every emotional outburst confirms they have power over you. Every emotional reaction is a confession. When you over-explain, you confess insecurity. When you explode in anger, you confess loss of control. When you rush to defend yourself, you confess self-doubt. The strongest people in history understood one brutal truth: you don't need to explain yourself to people who already decided to misunderstand you. Silence makes people uncomfortable because silence removes their leverage. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the Roman Empire, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He ruled an empire. He faced betrayal, war, and constant pressure. Yet his philosophy was simple: control what you can control, your mind, your response, your energy. Everything else is noise. When you react emotionally, you hand over that control. You let someone else's words dictate your state of mind. You become a puppet on their string. But when you refuse to react, you cut the strings. You reclaim your power. This is not about being passive. This is not about accepting disrespect. This is about understanding that your emotional state is your territory, and you decide who gets access to it. Most people give that access away freely to anyone who asks for it. They let strangers, enemies, and fools dictate how they feel. But not you. Not anymore. When you don't react, something interesting happens. The aggressor starts to panic. They replay the situation in their head. They wonder if they crossed a line. They question their own power. Because now the spotlight is on them, not you. Calmness flips the power dynamic. That's why monks, leaders, strategists, and kings mastered emotional restraint. They knew a calm mind is a battlefield advantage. Sun Tzu understood this deeply. In The Art of War, he wrote, "The greatest victory is that which requires no battle." What does that mean? It means the highest form of dominance is making your opponent defeat themselves. When you stay silent, the person who provoked you is left alone with their own aggression. They look foolish. They look desperate. They lose credibility in the eyes of others. Your silence becomes their prison. Watch what happens when you don't give someone the reaction they expect. They try harder. They get louder. They become more obvious. And everyone watching sees exactly what's happening. They see someone desperately trying to get a rise out of you and failing. They see someone losing control while you remain calm. The contrast is devastating. This is why not reacting is not passive. It is strategic. It is deliberate. It is warfare without weapons. You're not running from the fight. You're choosing a battlefield where you have every advantage. Reaction blinds you. Stillness reveals everything. When you don't react, you see who respects you, you see who wants attention, you see who thrives on chaos, you see who was never on your side. People expose themselves when they don't get the response they expected. Silence is a mirror. And not everyone likes what they see. Here's what happens when you stay silent: the person who insulted you keeps talking. They overcompensate. They try harder to get a reaction. And in doing so, they reveal their true nature. You learn who they really are. You see their insecurities. You understand their motives. You recognize their patterns. All without saying a word. This is the hidden gift of silence: clarity. When emotions are removed, truth becomes visible. You stop being blinded by anger or hurt, and you start seeing the game being played. You notice things you missed before. You see the person who smiled while someone attacked you. You see the person who stayed silent when they should have defended you. You see who encourages drama and who seeks peace. You see who respects boundaries and who constantly tests them. Most people never reach this level because they're too busy defending, explaining, and reacting. But you? You're different. You observe. You calculate. You move with intention. You collect information while others waste energy on emotions. And that information becomes power. Because now you know who people really are, not who they pretend to be. Let's be clear. Not reacting does not mean you are scared, you accept disrespect, or you lack confidence. It means you choose when and where to invest your energy. You don't wrestle with pigs. You don't argue with fools. You don't chase validation from the blind. You save your reactions for things that matter. That is emotional discipline. That is self-respect. There's a difference between being a doormat and being strategically silent. A doormat accepts everything without boundaries. A strategically silent person observes, evaluates, and acts when necessary. Think of it this way: a lion doesn't turn around when a small dog barks. Not because the lion is afraid, but because the lion knows its worth. The same applies to you. When someone beneath your level tries to provoke you, your silence is not weakness. It's dominance. You're saying without words, "You are not worth my energy." And that hits harder than any insult ever could. Because what people fear most is not your anger. It's your indifference. Anger means they matter to you. Indifference means they don't exist to you. That's the ultimate psychological defeat. But here's the key: you must also set boundaries. Silence doesn't mean you tolerate repeated disrespect. It means you don't give emotional reactions. If someone crosses a line, you remove them from your life. Quietly. Calmly. Permanently. No drama. No explanations. No second chances. You just close the door and move on. That is true power. That is how you protect your peace while maintaining your dignity. Let's talk about what happens inside your brain when you're provoked. When someone insults you, your amygdala, the emotional center of your brain, activates. It triggers a fight or flight response. Your heart rate increases. Cortisol floods your system. Your rational thinking shuts down. This is a survival mechanism. It worked when humans faced physical threats. But in modern life, it's a trap. Because the person provoking you knows this. They want you in that emotional state. They want you to act on impulse. They want you to say something you'll regret. But when you train yourself not to react, something powerful happens. You activate your prefrontal cortex, the rational part of your brain. You override the emotional hijack. You create space between stimulus and response. And in that space, you find freedom. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor, wrote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." He endured unimaginable suffering. Yet he chose how to respond. He found meaning in the worst circumstances. He understood that no one could take away his internal freedom. The same applies to you. No matter what someone says or does, you always have a choice in how you respond. And choosing not to react? That is the ultimate expression of freedom. You're telling the universe, I am not controlled by external circumstances. I am controlled by internal decisions. That shift in mindset changes everything. Because once you realize you have that choice, you can never go back to being a victim of your emotions. Not reacting is painful at first. Your ego will scream. Your pride will beg. Your emotions will demand release. But every time you stay silent, you become harder to manipulate. Every time you don't react, you level up internally. Self-mastery is lonely. But weakness is crowded. Here's the uncomfortable truth: your ego wants to be right. It wants to be seen. It wants to be validated. And when someone attacks you, your ego screams, defend yourself. Fight back. Show them who you are. But that's exactly what they want. Because once your ego is engaged, you've already lost. The battle is no longer about truth. It's about pride. And pride makes you predictable. Pride makes you controllable. The greatest warriors learn to kill their ego. Not literally, but symbolically. They learn to detach from the need to be right, to be respected, to be understood. They learn that true strength is not in proving yourself to others. It's in knowing yourself so deeply that external opinions become irrelevant. This is hard. It goes against every social conditioning you've received. From childhood, you were told to stand up for yourself. To never let anyone disrespect you. To fight back. But there's a difference between standing up for yourself and being enslaved by your emotions. Standing up for yourself means setting boundaries and removing toxic people. Being enslaved by your emotions means reacting every time someone pushes your buttons. One is strength. The other is weakness disguised as strength. But the moment you stop needing validation, you become unshakable. You become someone who cannot be manipulated, cannot be controlled, cannot be broken by words. And that terrifies people who rely on emotional manipulation to feel powerful. So how do you actually do this? How do you not react when every fiber of your being wants to? Here are practical strategies. The pause technique: when provoked, take a deep breath, count to 5. This interrupts the automatic reaction. The observer mindset: instead of being in the situation, observe it. Ask yourself, what is this person trying to achieve? This creates emotional distance. The long game: remind yourself, will this matter in 5 years? If not, it doesn't deserve your energy now. The written response: if you must respond, write it down first. Wait 24 hours, then decide if it's still worth sending. Physical release. Channel your emotions into exercise. In the gym. Go for a run. Transform anger into strength. The exit strategy. Sometimes the best response is to leave. Walk away. Remove yourself from toxic environments. Your presence is a gift. Don't give it to those who don't deserve it. These are not just techniques. They are habits. And habits build character. Every time you practice these, you're rewiring your brain. You're teaching yourself that you have control. You're proving to yourself that you're stronger than your impulses. And over time, something amazing happens. Not reacting becomes natural. It becomes your default. You stop seeing provocations as threats and start seeing them as tests. Tests you pass effortlessly. Tests that reveal more about the other person than about you. Remember this, the world is full of noise. The powerful move in silence. Let people misunderstand you. Let them talk. Let them assume. Your peace is more valuable than winning temporary arguments. Because in the long run, the one who controls emotions controls the game. You are not here to react to everyone's nonsense. You are not here to prove yourself to people who will never respect you. You are not here to win arguments with people who have already made up their minds. You are here to build something meaningful. You are here to protect your energy. You are here to master yourself. And that requires one simple commitment: stop reacting. Start responding. Know the difference. Reacting is what animals do. Responding is what humans do. Reacting is automatic. Responding is intention. Reacting gives power away. Responding keeps power within. Your future self will thank you. The person you become when you master this skill will look back at who you were before and barely recognize them. Because you will have transformed from someone who is controlled by external events to someone who controls their internal world completely. Now go. Be silent. Be powerful. Be free.